Welcome back to my channel. My name is Gianna, if you don't know. And for today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I do my everyday makeup look. Just kind of what I wear to work, and if I'm going out like during the day on the weekend, just kind of my go-to look, which is this. So, sorry if you can hear that loud motorcycle. Yeah, if you would like to see how I achieve this look, please keep watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe. So I have my little makeup cart right here, and my whole apartment is like in this temporary mess right now. I just moved in, so I'm waiting for furniture to come in. So bear with me. I'm in the living room, and we're kind of at this makeshift vanity, and my cats won't stop bothering me, so sorry. So the first thing that I do, so I've already moisturized, used my serums, all that. I've let that sink into my skin for a while, and now I'm gonna prime. This is my favorite primer. Oh, and I'm missing a nail, and I also did my own nails, which is why they're such a mess. So this is my favorite primer ever. It's the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer, and I have dry skin, so I need like a really, really hydrating primer. And this one is very hydrating, and it's also like grips your makeup. I just love it so much. So I put that all over the face, anywhere I'm gonna have makeup. Also, I know how long and crazy my hair is. I let it air dry today as well, and it's just a mess. So, quarantine. Okay, so right after I prime, I like to go in with my color corrector. And I have a lot of redness. I have rosacea, so it can get really bad, like all right here on my cheeks, definitely around my nose all the time, around my mouth. And so what I like to do is I go in with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Color Correcting Fluid in the green. And I'm just gonna go in wherever I have redness. Yeah, around my nose is like the worst. And then I'm gonna go in with my damp sponge, blend that out. I actually tried filming this video the other day, and like I filmed the whole thing. I just didn't like love how it turned out. I filmed it on my phone, which I actually did my whole entire last YouTube video on my phone, just because I didn't feel like I have like this big camera, but I don't know, I didn't feel like using it for the last one. But this last time, like my lighting was weird, and my phone like stopped recording at some point, I don't know. So I'm back to my camera. Hopefully it works out. So you'll see it, but that really kind of neutralizes the red. Okay, I adjusted the lighting on my camera, so hopefully that's better. So you'll see that the color corrector really just kind of helps neutralize that redness. So now what I'm gonna do, sorry if you can hear my cats in the background, is go in with these foundations. So I do one pump of the ColourPop, and no matter what I'm doing with foundation, I always like to put it on the back of my hand. I just feel like it's good to warm the product up a little bit. And then I do like kind of like a half pump of the Tarte Rainforest one. Oh, and the shades that I'm using, the ColourPop one is Light 5N, and the Tarte is 22N Light Neutral. And then this NARS one is Gobi, but like I said, it's way too yellow for me and too light. But I find that doing like literally like the tiniest little drop mixed in with those two creates like a really nice shade for me. So I just take my finger and I mix those on the back of my hand, and then I just start to dot all around my face, starting kind of in the middle and then kind of going out to the edges afterwards. And then I always get some on my neck. And then I go in with another sponge that is damp. It's fine. I actually got these sponges off of Amazon. I looked up like what's the best beauty blender dupe, and I got these ones, and they're actually like pretty good. Like they get really big when they get damp and soft and bouncy. I'll link everything that I use down below. I have found that with my skin, because I do have dry skin, no matter what foundation I use or what brush I use, I never like how foundation looks on me with a brush, with just a brush. Like, I feel like it sits on top of my skin, and even, okay, the one that I like the most is this Fenty foundation brush. But even when I used that one, I felt like I had to go back in with a blender on top of it just to like make sure it was super smooth. I don't know why that is, because so many people love to apply their foundations with a brush. I feel left out. Okay, so once that's all blended, make sure I got it all. Then I go in with concealer, which this is like one of my favorite concealers. It's a Tarte creaseless concealer. It used to be called I'm gonna butcher this, whatever. And then they rebranded it, or like repackaged it. They took off that name and they just called it the creaseless concealer, and they took it from that squeezy tube into this tube with a wand, which I thought was an amazing choice. So this concealer is really thick Draco. This concealer is pretty thick. So what I like to do is I just like to dot it under my eyes. On my nose, and then just, if I have any blemishes, and then just on the other. My cats cry when they crave attention, and this is obviously something I'm not giving them attention, and they are such brats. Shut it. So then I go in with the same sponge that I did my foundation, and I just bounce that away. Not away, into the skin. And it blends really smooth. And it's like very just effortlessly. And I usually, just at the end of like bouncing all of that, I usually like to take like whatever's left and just go over my eyelids. Okay, so my camera stopped filming, super annoying, but it looks like we're back now. And so I've done that brow, I'm doing this one. I'm just gonna jump right back into it. So I was saying that I usually like to use Anastasia. Oh, and I turned off this light because I did feel like it was too much. This video is all over the place. I'm so sorry. I just hope it's better this time than the first attempt, because if it's not, I'm honestly not really trying to do this shit again. So yeah, I just like to brush them up, essentially fill in the scarce areas. Oh yeah, and I'm using Dip Brow in Ebony. And I'll just do my. You know how they say that eyebrows are supposed to be sisters, not twins? Mine are kind of like cousins. Like the natural shapes are just so different, and they just grow so differently. That's okay. I love my cousins. Like, are they even cousins? This is usually what happens on like a daily thing. I'll get really frustrated with this one, and then I'm just like whatever, it's good enough. Good enough. So what I do next is I usually now go in with my contour. And what I like to use for that is, oh, and something I meant to touch on. For my concealer, I haven't really been setting it that much lately. Like I said, I do have really dry skin, and the concealer that I use, I really don't think it needs to be set. Like, it honestly looks great. Like if I wanted to set it, I probably would just do a little bit in here. And if I were to do that, I would use this Peach Perfect Too Faced powder just because it's what I have on hand right now. And like, I do like it. It's not like anything groundbreaking, but it's a good translucent powder. So yeah, hopping back into contour. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick in Fawn. And I just find that this shade on me just gives me a really nice shadow. And I just go in right in the hollows of my cheeks. Like that. And then under my jawline. And then I go in with my Morphe M439 brush, this big guy. I love this thing. He's so fluffy and dense. Fluffy and dense, I don't know if that makes sense together, but like, you know, like he is. And I don't know why I feel like he's a he. And I just blend that up. So it creates like that nice shadow. And like I always go up first. I just think that really helps to like, you know? And then after you can kind of buff. And then I just buff this. This probably looks crazy. Oh boy, this quarantine hair is something else. I am trying to grow out my hair though. So this is a good time for that. So I shouldn't be complaining. It's nice to not be able to go anywhere when I'm in like, when it's like the ugly stage, you know, of growing out a pixie. Okay, and once all that's blended, my hair is smooth in the back. Then I like to go in with very classic Anastasia contour kit in light to medium. And I like to go in with this bronzer brush that I have from Prescriptives. I've had this thing forever and I love it. And so I just take these two shades and just kind of swirl them together, and that'll be my bronzer. I'm still kind of getting the hang of like using bronzer and blush a lot. I've never really been that good at it, but I just like to take it and like right above where I contour just to give myself like a little sun kiss, you know? And then I kind of bring that up right here. And then I do the 3. And then I do the same thing on the other side. And I do a little bit on my nose. And then I go back in with that Morphe buffing brush and I just smooth it all out. I'm like afraid, like terrified of like sharp lines on my face for like bronzers, blush, etc. So I over buff, and I know that I do. And like I've mentioned to friends like, oh yeah, I'm loving this contour or whatever, and they've been like, you contour? Because I think I blend it in so much, but it is what it is. That's what I do. So now that I have, I was gonna say I have most of my face done, but I'm gonna do blush now. Now I like to go in, I have this Bobbi Brown one that my mom gave me. It's in coral. It's really pretty. It like it does have like a bit of a shimmer. So I just actually like to put that with this super fluffy angled, see how like loose and fluffy that is? I don't know why I did that. Now this is by Luxie, it's the 640 brush. And I just like to dab that in there. And then I've been putting it like obviously on the apples, but then I like to like drag it up almost to like where I'm highlighting. And I don't like to put a lot of blush. And then I put a little on my nose because I think that's cute. So now what I do is before I go in with my highlight, I actually like to do mascara first. And the reason for that is because despite the fact that I've been doing mascara for like, how long have I been doing makeup? 13, 14, 15 years, I still make such a mess. Like I'm gonna have to clean it up. So I don't like to do my highlight yet because I'm just gonna have to go in and mess it up. So this is like the best mascara. I don't have like super long, I don't know if you can see, I don't have super long lashes naturally. But I've been using this, I think since high school, but it is so good. And I don't feel like enough YouTubers talk about it. Like they always talk about this one, which is really great, the Lash Paradise. And I really do like that one, but I swear this one is just special. And no one ever talks about it, and it's like $8. So I'm going to do that now. And sometimes I curl my lashes and sometimes I don't. I'd say like most of the time I don't, so I'm not going to here. Then I just go in with a dry, very important, dry Q-tip and just get all that mess that I made. A lot of people actually don't know that a dry Q-tip works so much better than like, you know, I see a lot of people like getting micellar water on it or licking it or something, and that just like takes off all the makeup underneath. But if you do it dry, so easy. Also, I didn't do eyeshadow because on just like a regular day, I usually don't. Sometimes, like occasionally I will, and occasionally I'll do a winged liner, but I just wanted this to be like the most basic version of my everyday makeup. Now I go in and do my favorite part of the entire thing, which is highlight. I'm not gonna put that in. So my favorite highlight is, again, Anastasia. Like, I think I'm like learning that that's my favorite makeup brand. I don't know. But the Anastasia Amrezy highlight, it is just so insane. So pretty. It's like this champagne-y gold. If you're into makeup, I'm sure you've seen it. And then I just take my Shade and Light brush from Kat Von D Beauty, and I take the highlight side, of course. And then I just go on my cheekbones and the high points of my face. And then I go on just with this flat eyeshadow brush that I've had forever, and I just use it literally just for this. And I just go right under my brow bone, or on my brow bone, I guess. And then in the inner corners. And then sometimes I'll do a gloss or a lipstick or something, but honestly, a lot of the times I won't. So again, because this is kind of like the bare minimum one, I'm just going to put on my favorite chapstick, which is the Vaseline Lip Therapy with Cocoa Butter. It is so, it's the only chapstick that I think actually works and like actually moisturizes your lips. And then I go in with the NYX Control Freak Clear Brow Gel. And then, and then the last thing, setting spray, which I used the Urban Decay All Nighter. I ran out of my big one and I had this small one, so. Oh, and this one's out too. Yep, okay. We're just gonna pretend that mist all over my face, and then I'm done. So this is my finished everyday makeup look. I think it's rather minimal for like a makeup lover. Some people would probably look at this and be like, oh my God, you put on so much makeup, but this is just what I like to do on like a day-to-day. I say every day, but of course I don't do this every single day. I go to work all the time with no makeup or just mascara, just lipstick, whatever. This is just my favorite thing to do. So I hope you guys really like this video. If you did, please subscribe and comment and let me know what you would like to see next, whether it's home stuff like my last video, more makeup, skincare stuff. I think I'll probably have like a couple different playlists going on this channel. So yeah, just let me know what you'd like to see from me, and yeah, thanks. See you next time. Bye.